Hello, today is Wednesday, July 29th, 2026. Here is your daily signal. According to Fortune, the ongoing tensions in the Middle East have brought global oil markets to a critical juncture, with conflicts around Iran and unrest in key shipping routes like the Red Sea threatening to choke off supplies. Escalating violence in July 2026 has made the Strait of Hormuz and the Red Sea increasingly risky for tanker traffic, raising fears of a broader supply crisis. Experts highlight that disruptions are not just affecting crude but are much more acute for refined products, which everyday consumers depend on. Since the Iran war began, fuel prices have doubled in places as far apart as the US, Chile, Turkey, and Nepal, fundamentally reshaping business costs and day-to-day life. Crude oil briefly surged above $100 per barrel, according to Bloomberg, putting central banks such as the Federal Reserve, Bank of England, and Bank of Japan under pressure as they consider raising interest rates to contain inflation. In the immediate term, this means fuel shortages and price spikes could disrupt transport, food distribution, and trade, while higher interest rates could slow global economic growth. If high energy prices persist, we may see civil unrest, as well as longer-term shifts towards alternative energy sources and new geopolitical alliances focused on energy security. Next, turning to Asia-Pacific military affairs. Business Insider reports that China has built full-size models of U.S. warships and F-35 stealth fighters to serve as missile test targets, highlighting intensifying preparations for possible regional confrontation. These mock-ups, visible in recent satellite images, are part of China's drive to prepare for potential attacks against U.S. and allied forces, including possible scenarios in Taiwan. Meanwhile, Associated Press details that tensions are flaring in the South China Sea after the Philippines accused the Chinese Coast Guard of injuring a Filipino sailor during a confrontation at the disputed Second Thomas Shoal. On July 26, 2026, Chinese missile units used these replica targets for highly realistic training, raising concerns over Beijing's ability to threaten real U.S. military assets. This comes as altercations between Chinese and Philippine maritime forces grow more frequent and sometimes violent. Near term, experts warn of more frequent and severe run-ins between these countries' ships, and China's enhanced missile training could make real-world engagements riskier for U.S. naval platforms. Over the medium term, heightened readiness around hotspots like Taiwan and the South China Sea risks accidental escalation, and the resulting instability could threaten Southeast Asian political and economic security as neighbors and partners react to Beijing's assertive moves. And now, let's move into the world of technology and urban innovation. Next big future reveals that Tesla supercharger stations and cybercabs are set to double as decentralized urban cell sites, supporting SpaceX Starlink's expanding direct-to-cell service. Starlink, designed by SpaceX, seeks to deliver citywide coverage but faces traditional satellite issues with capacity in crowded districts. Tesla is now repurposing its existing infrastructure, including Powerwall units, to host mini cell towers, all without relying on legacy 5G tower equipment or paying rent to traditional providers like EchoStar. As of July 27, 2026, this integration is being deployed to solve both capacity and densification challenges for urban Starlink users. Urban communities stand to benefit in the near term from cheaper and more robust internet coverage that leverages Tesla's extensive station network and cybercabs, quickly scaling connectivity throughout dense metro areas. In the medium term, this direct partnership could pressure the conventional telecom industry by decreasing dependence on established cell tower businesses, although city planners and regulators will need to navigate new challenges as transportation and communication infrastructure converge. Now, onto the markets. International stocks were mixed, with China large caps climbing strongly as FXI rose more than 14%, while Taiwan lagged with EWT sliding over 3%. Germany recorded a mild gain, but the Netherlands and Australia posted modest declines. In commodities, U.S. oil soared nearly 7%, making it the standout mover in the sector today. Silver advanced over 1% and gold edged up slightly, while uranium and lithium pulled back with uranium ETF URA dropping more than 3%. In the favorites, Adobe was the leading gainer, up more than 5% for the day, while AMD and ARM both slumped sharply, with AMD dropping over 3% and ARM falling nearly 4.5%. Microsoft firmed on the session, while Nvidia also lost ground. Among sectors, semiconductors led the way down with stocks tumbling over 3%, while the S&P 500 SPY eased fractionally. Today's top stock gainer was Nocera and CRA, surging 106%, while the biggest loser was IMC, plunging over 66%. That's it for today. You can find more news and details on our website. Goodbye.